Hello, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, everything in between and those beyond in the cosmic vastness that is the universe. Welcome to Forsaken Broadcast, and I am one of your hosts, David.
I'm Daniel. Hello.
I'm Scarlet, and it's good to see you all again, my favorite cosmic abominations.
Hi, Dan.
Can you actually see them though? Because we're speaking from the netherworlds, so to speak.
You don't know what I can see and what I can't see. Don't fucking...
You don't have my eyes.
Don't you question me and my omnipotence.
Do not question my omnipotence.
Well, fine then. Question.
I will question your impotence.
Anyways.
So anyway, today we are doing a episode given to us by a person who commented. What's that person's name? Does anyone remember?
I think the user was Pure Evil 390.
That's it. So they brought up an idea of talking about games and which ones do we personally think that did good and bad grinding in terms of either leveling up or trying to acquire like crafting material or resources or anything that you would consider grinding and leveling and doing something repetitively over and over and over again to get a very specific or certain rewards.
I got a few.
I think we all do. I guess we could talk about the bad ones first. Kind of get the bad taste out of our mouths right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm in agreement with that.
Dan, you go ahead and well, actually, we actually talked about this a little bit just to see if there was any games that we thought of that we all had in common in thinking of. So the first one, I think we could kick off with is Red Dead Redemption Online and GTA, Grand Theft Auto 5 Online.
Yes.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I absolutely love the Grand Theft Auto series. I do. It's honestly one of my favorite series of all time. I love the amount of work and time goes into recreating the cities that every game is based off of, all the culture that is in there that really goes with the time. And I do love the idea that you can now actually have your own character in this world, like this fake Los Angeles. I love that. I love to be able to have essentially me if I was in the GTA game. But I have to say, man, you have to do a lot of stuff in order to get anywhere in the game. It's insane.
Oh yeah.
You have to do so many missions to get.
Oh,
First of all, you don't get every weapon right off the bat. That kind of makes sense. You have to get to different levels in order to unlock certain weapons. And if you want to have the full arsenal, you have to be at least level 100 to be able to buy everything.
I don't think that's that bad. I think that's fair.
It is fair. But if you want to do anything that's going to really further your progress in the game, be able to make money, you almost have to rely on doing public servers. And I know for me, I hate going in public servers because of the people that can just completely mess up all your progress. Everything you work for, everything you try to do with trying to sell your stuff in your warehouse, trying to make money for your club, trying to do stuff for heists, you have to do everything in public servers, and even then, the jobs don't pay that well.
So that's the part I would agree with. That I mean, I agree. I hate the public sessions. I hate them. They're annoying because in Red Dead it's not as bad. It is equally as frustrating, but it's not as bad in terms of GTA because fucking like jets and rocket cars and Spartan lasers. I mean, just everything. Like, there's so many vehicles of just mass destruction in that game, and it's just so blatantly unfair for the people that don't have any kind of defense against that.
Yeah.
Like, if
And
you're
it's
just
like,
starting and you want to like, well, I'll make a lot of money and get a lot of experience playing in public sessions. Yeah, you're gonna have a nightmare of a time because people are just gonna be blowing you up and kicking your ass.
And there's another thing I hate too is like, the jobs pay you very little, but they keep incentivizing you to. Well, you know, if you want more money, there's always the shark cards you can get. And it's like, is that how I'm going to be able to, like, get money in this game? Like, no thanks.
Yeah, I mean, microtransactions are just bullshit. They're nice if it's not impeding your progress. If it's, like, cosmetic stuff, fine, whatever. Sure. I'll pay $5 if I get to look like the Crow or something. I don't care. But what I don't like is how like the small amount of things you can do to get money. That's actually like fun. Like there's just a lot of stuff that's just a drag.
Absolutely, and that kind of falls in the whole Red Dead Online 2. Although that would be more in you and Scarlet to comment on because I have not really played it all that much, but it seems like you have to do like a lot of skinning of animals. You have to do a lot of odd jobs just to get money to be able to afford like new stuff. But I don't know. I haven't really played Red Dead Online as much.
I don't know about you, Scarlet, but I think grinding in Red Dead is more boring, but I feel like it's more productive also.
It is more productive, yeah.
Like, it's easier to save up in Red Dead than it is in GTA.
Yeah. Like, I've been working my ass off in GTA, trying to fucking get some modicum of money.
Right.
But in Red Dead, like, I just kind of play the game and I'm making enough money to get by.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice.
It's more boring grinding. Like, it's just mundane grinding. Whereas with GTA...
Dude, these poison gas arrows, that's what's up.
Dude, we crushed that. That was
just
awesome.
got a trophy.
Did you? What'd you get?
Yeah, the snout in the dark.
Nice. Scarlet, you gonna skin this person so we can get the key?
Yeah, I had to reset up my arrows for that fight.
Oh, okay. Sorry, everyone. Gaming difficulties. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly that the grinding in GTA and Red Dead, it's so much work, or it's so much time, because I will agree that Red Dead does it better, but it's longer and just forever. Oh my god, Scarlet.
Tell me it's a bow.
It's a fucking bow.
Oh. You need to put that on the follower.
Give that to Aranis here.
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean,
well, Scarlet, what do you have on your list of like games that you consider bad, boring?
Not that the games are bad, just that the grindiness I think could have been done better.
Mm-hmm.
The first one would probably If I'm being honest, the first one would probably be Hearthstone. Um, just because, I mean, and a lot of games, honestly, can fall under that same, like, blanket game type. Um, so, like, Magic the Gathering Arena, and, um, like, Gwent, anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to work your ass off to get some kind of anything. Like, oh, you can unlock this booster pack with 1,000 in-game coins, but you get 10 coins for a game that you win, and it's like, alright. And then those packs, it's like, alright, here's a shit ton of commons, maybe an uncommon, and maybe if we hate you slightly less than normal, you can also get a rare. But it doesn't take into account what you already have. But most of those games are also like, okay, to compensate for that, we're going to give you a crafting mechanic. So that way you can deconstruct the cards that you have in excess and make the cards that you're missing. Cool. Too bad I need 100 copies of one card to make one copy of another. And I get that, you know, there has to be a mechanic, but it's also a mechanic that's like, or you can pay for the in-game packs that have higher rarity, and it's like, it encourages a pay-to-win play style.
I hate that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kinda GTA and Red Dead's problem, is that it's kind of pay to win. You know,
Yeah.
it always does come back to player skill, but
Yeah.
I mean, like with Red Dead, they came out with this the Outlaw Pass, and they came out with that, and what that was is like, if you play the game from this amount of time, you get these rewards if you get enough experience to level up in the levels of the Outlaw Pass. But if you pay for the Outlaw Pass, you get increased rewards. Like, you get bonus rewards. You don't level up faster, it's not easier for you to level up. It's just you get more rewards if you pay for the pass. Not
Right.
for completion. Like, you still have to level up and everything. You just give them money, kind of like a season pass. Like, you get everything rather than just like off the top.
Yeah.
And then they came out with this with a 2.0 one, and that one you can actually pay to level up in it. You can pay gold bars to level up in, to just get free levels in the Outlaw Pass.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, are you serious? So yeah, I have like 20 gold, so I could get 20 levels if I wanted to. What kind of shit's that? Like, where's the fun there?
Yeah. That kind of defeats the purpose of actually playing the game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like, why would you even bother? Like, why would you? I like that accent the game and give me a little bit more spice of life, blah blah blah. But I don't like paying to just win. Like, that's not fun. That's not fun. And yeah, I have a job, and yeah, I could just blow money willy-nilly into the thing because I have a job, and you know, I could spare some extra cash. But why?
Yeah. Really.
Like, or I could just play the game and actually, you know, have fun.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait, games are meant to be fun?
They're meant to be played? What?
I will say another game, and I've talked to people that enjoy this game, and it's often like, yeah, I could see that, even from their perspective. I think one of the grindiest games in existence is RuneScape.
Yeah.
I normally like, I used to love games like WoW. I hate WoW now, but, you know, that's just because... Probably a part of it is because I don't have a computer that could run it. But, you know...
Yeah, that might have something to do with that.
Being a poor bitch aside, like, a game like RuneScape, it's... I mean, it's made to be grindy by design. Like, that is the intent of the game. It is supposed to be grindy.
But, boy.
Yeah, it takes so long to do the simplest things.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and claim to be like a RuneScape master. I haven't looked up anything on RuneScape in... We're just going to say a lot of years.
Dan,
Right.
you should bring Brungar with us. You should bring.
Ooh, yes.
You should bring Brungar. We're gonna
Brungar.
go for the Bat Demon.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
Oh, I should bring the staff.
Oh, that's
hope-
a great idea.
I hope I have it. I might have moved it.
I think it was in the chest that was on the table on the third story.
Okay, I'll look for it. But go ahead. I agree. I got into RuneScape much later. I didn't get into it.
Get out! I'm sorry, I have mice in my room. There's two, and they're so tiny, like, you could tell that they're babies, and I don't know where they came from, but now there's just two baby mice running around my room, and I'm like, one part of me is like, I need to set a trap or something, and then the other part of me is like, they are really cute. Like, I really just
Free
want to
pets.
protect them.
Hey, they just heard that we were filming, and they just wanted to be part of the episode. They just want to help out.
No,
Yeah, special
no,
guest stars.
They don't want to help out because they're chewing on something underneath my television, which is giving me agita. So,
But I
like, it just sounds
recently
like plastic, but still.
I recently
Anyways.
got into yes. I recently got into RuneScape. Well, not recently got into it, but like last year or 2019 I got into it.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun with it at first, but then I was like, wow. The grind life is so strong in this game. Whoo!
Yeah,
Like it was
brutal.
just so much time, like just to level up one thing. It was just crazy amount of time. I was like, jeez. And
It does not take any consideration for the time that it is demanding of you as the player.
yeah, it's rough. Like it was just, and like I said, I don't even have a year of playtime in it, so total scrub lord noob. But
Yeah.
I had fun with it at first. Even it being a grind fest, I was like, but this is cool. It's such a huge world, and I can run around and help people fight things, and yeah, MMO. But, like a month later, I'm just kind of like, I better get on so I can level up my one-handed attacks once.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just once today. Maybe if I'm lucky. I
Yeah.
had no idea that you were waiting for us, David. I am so sorry.
Oh, no, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But, yeah, it was like, oh my god. Ooh. And I just haven't played it for like 4 months now. And it just got boring. Like, it was the same kind of boring that, like, Red Dead and GTA give me sometimes. Because, like, GTA gives me like temporary fun. It's like temporary enjoyment. It's like, yeah, I'm riding with my homies and being like a corporate badass and kicking ass, sea bass, and I feel awesome. But that's like 10 minutes, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it takes an hour to get maybe 50 grand.
Yeah, and there's one thing I didn't mention, but I think it's pretty obvious that why GTA Online is such a pain is because so many things are just ridiculously overpriced.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the
And,
whole
and,
thing with that grind is it's the amount that things cost versus the options of what you can do and the rewards for the things you can do are just so minimal. They're just so small.
oh yeah, yeah. And again, I love GTA. I do. I think I still play GTA Online. I still like it, but there's just so much more they could have done for the game in terms of making it not such a chore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a chore.
But anyway, so David, you've heard Scarlet and I talk about some games that we think are too grinding. What about you? What do you think is too grinding?
So one game that Scarlet knows I am particularly salty about, that I despise for its grinding, is Smite. It's a
Oh God!
PC game that it's the like League of Legends, whatever those are called, Dotas or MOBAs. A MOBA.
MOBAs, yeah.
Dota's a
MOBAs.
video game.
Dota is a MOBA.
Yeah, Dota is a MOBA. But it
Sounds like we're speaking a different language.
I know, right? Dota is the Moda, and MOBA and Gripsy Garno Gwibsy Dibnar.
Hey, and a dodo is an extinct bird that used to live on Earth such a long time ago. You know that? I bet you did.
I bet you did.
I bet you did know that.
I bet you did know that.
Anyways, MOBAs.
But
MOBAs.
Smite irritated me. Oh, so much grinding to get anything, to get skins, to get a new character, unless you pay for the thing that's like, you pay X amount of money and you get every character forever.
Yeah.
But
Which,
which is nice.
That's good.
It's good because the game is free to play, and that's the counter argument that anyone could make for that game, and any games like it that are free to play and super grindy. But man, is it just it's so much. Your rewards are so tiny. And
I will say, the difficulty of getting skins and things like that, sure. I agree with the grindiness. Those are extra little sweet perks, and being able to buy those with real money is the trade-off. Yeah, that's one thing. I think the grindiness becomes a problem when trying to unlock characters. If you don't have the money, then it's wow. And some of these games, you can try a character in a testing thing before you really commit to the bit.
But that's nothing compared to actually playing them.
Yeah.
It's not even close to being close.
Yeah, it's not the same.
No.
It really isn't. There's no comparison. At best you can get a basic idea as to what the champion is supposed to do without being able to test it in the fires of battle.
Yeah, because that's where it really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
the thing about it for me isn't what your rewards are and the grind. It's the rewards and what they're for and everything like that. That's not the real bad part for me. The real bad part for me is how long a match can be, depending on what you're doing, or the fact that you could get dropped, or you get dropped from the game and then you're punished because they make it that the game thinks that you quit out, and it's are you fucking kidding me? Now I have to wait 10 to 20 minutes to play another 40 to 50 minute match just so I can get 2% closer to getting what I'm trying to get today. Oh my god, are you kidding?
I ain't got all day, come on.
Yeah, it's for kids and stuff, cool. But for people people have jobs and they have to do like I only have like 3 hours maybe without sacrificing sleep time to enjoy a good video game. And
Yeah.
3 hours that's basically 3 or 4 long matches in Smite, which basically every match is a long fight because good God, it's so painful with randos.
It's
And
the worst.
and
Good God,
I haven't played
don't
Smite
have
in
reasons.
I probably haven't played Smite in over a year now. So perhaps it's changed. And I hope it's changed. But as of the last time I played it, oh man, it's like it's not
like,
RuneScape bad, but it's bad. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh my God. Because if you lose, you get nothing. You get no progress.
Yeah.
So I just spent 40 minutes losing.
Even if you rock the socks off the head of your opponents, like if you were a golden god amongst...
You could have been MVP of the
Seeking
entire
all.
game, but your team loses, so you get nothing.
Yep.
It's like,
Which,
what?
counter argument to that is, oh, well, you could just have an actual team of you and your friends, but you're also... Oh, that's a corrupt rock man.
Let's do it.
You're also assuming I have friends.
Yeah. I have 4 competent friends that play this game either just as well as I can or better. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? I can barely find anybody that's in the game that is competent enough, let alone a friend that is. So that kind of stuff irritates me. Like those kind of games that are just like, I need to do things publicly, and it's going to take so long to do just one thing, and we could lose and get absolutely nothing. Fuck that.
I feel the salt coming off of you.
It is. I'm very salty about Smite because I used to love Smite. It used to be so much fun. I used to play it all the time, and I loved it. I had a great time. Something changed,
I don't know
though.
what my archer is doing, but she is just wasting arrows.
Oh.
Like she's just slowly walking forward, shooting, like she's shooting arrows straight up. And like she's already burnt through a stack of 100 arrows on this trip.
Jesus.
Those
Apparently
are
she's
razor
seen
arrows.
something.
That's steel.
What's that?
Daniel,
What?
you said something.
No, I said, apparently she's seen something, and she's trying to tell you, like, hey, there's a thing over here.
But there wasn't.
She's shooting straight up, though.
Maybe girl be tripping, I guess. I don't know.
But
Anyways.
that's one of the bad.
MOBAs.
Yeah.
I enjoy MOBA games, honestly.
I enjoy
but-
them when I win. I enjoy
yeah,
them a
that's
lot
the
when I win.
Like, I wouldn't mind losing if a loss, like, and I get it, like, you could also approach it like, oh, well, you lost. Why the
Yeah.
fuck should you get anything? But it's like, I'm not a professional gamer. Like, I enjoy MOBAs. I like to play them. I think they're fun. I think they're interesting, and it's a different take on, like, multiplayer gaming. I think it's inventive. But I get into these lobbies with people that, like...
Take the game so seriously.
Yeah, they take the game so seriously. It's just like, alright, cool. I can't enjoy this game because this is this person's living, and apparently me not being able to play up to their standards is fucking up their paycheck, and I don't want that kind of stress in my life. Like,
Yeah.
and second of all, I don't want to spend the entirety of a video game being reminded that I'm a drain on someone's finances. I'm sorry, I moved out of my parents' house for a reason.
Jeez. All right. Well, we certainly talked about the bad. But unless anyone has anything else that they want to add to the bad, how about we get this bad taste out of our mouths and we talk about some good games, games that are fun.
Well,
that you don't mind
Like
grinding.
the good grind.
this is a good way to wrap up the bad and go into the good by talking about a game that I think hits both categories, and that game is Dark Souls, or Soulsborne games. Like, or not all Soulsborne games, but Dark Souls and Bloodborne. But mostly Dark Souls. So, I think Dark Souls fits both categories because there is a good grind to them, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the bad grind, and what I'm talking about, is guild rewards. Is
the fucking covenants.
the covenants. Oh, they're so, like, some are not bad. Some are super fair. Like, some are just like, okay, that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
But there are the few, oh boy, that are total bullshit. And I'm talking about the ones that are basically PvP. Because, not because I suck nuts at Dark Souls PvP, but because even if you are doing good, the game could just like drop you, or the losing player could just quit their game, so disconnecting you from their session, therefore losing
all that progress.
Yeah, you lose. Like, you get nothing. First of all, holy shit, we just ripped apart the Bat Demon. That was
Yeah, he didn't
brutal.
really stand a chance.
But
Killed
back,
the Batman.
but back to what I was saying is the Covenant items. Oh my god, like getting like the Proof of Concords, they are fun.
Yeah, you need
But-
that blood.
Yes, I do. They are fun if you don't get quit out on. Like, if you're like, oh man, I'm getting summoned into someone's world to help them fighting an invader. That's so exciting. Like, that is exciting for me. And so then I go in, and me and this guy that I'm helping out, we get to the dude, and the invader's fighting us, and either DCs, he leaves, so then I get nothing, or the dude leaves. Like, not the invader, the host. He leaves because he doesn't want to die to the invader. So then I get nothing. Like, there's no compensation. It's just like, oh, sorry, that's just how it is. It's like,
And
what?
you're so dependent on those connections being made and being able to do those missions, because, that's the point of the Covenant. This looks like a fucking portal.
Yes, it does. But I just thought that, like, that's what irritated me about Dark Souls, in the grinding aspect. Now, in terms of good grinding, I think it does wonders when it comes to just leveling up, or leveling up weapons. If you're trying to get a specific item, so you have to fight a specific enemy type, sometimes that can be irritating. But like games like Dark Souls 2, where you can just like bonfire aesthetic, like, it's nice that they like gave a way around it. It's like, yeah, it's gonna get harder, but at least you can try again.
Well, also, my issue with Dark Souls 2 specifically was the limitations on enemy respawns.
Yeah, like that was annoying. There was
no need for that.
What? Okay. I don't know what's supposed to be happening right here.
There's something here. Are we supposed to grab it?
That's what I put in there to do it.
I think you should be able to like
is just kinda chilling in the
reacquire
middle.
the staff, and it'll start talking to you. Like,
So I take it back.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, what other games?
Well, so in the good aspect of Dark Souls, like leveling up your weapons and progression, I feel is so good. Like, there's so many good places to go fight. Going back to Dark Souls 2 where you can bonfire aesthetic to fight bosses again. Like, that's so cool. I'm happy that they, like, give that, and that it's fair where you don't just spam it.
That you interact with.
Oh, did I miss it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it gives you specialist cooking aid.
Oh,
Continue.
okay. But like I like that you can go back and fight a boss at a harder difficulty, and so that means that you get better rewards. Like that's so awesome. It's like, well, if you want to, if you want to give it a shot, it's gonna be hard, but it'll be awesome. That's so cool. Like not a lot of games do that. Some do, but not a lot do, and that's really cool. I like it.
Yeah.
In terms of other good grinding games, Scarlet, I know you had Monster Hunter.
Oh, Monster Hunter. So, I will say that this might come with a bit of bias because Monster Hunter is one of my favorite game franchises in the history of anything ever. I've been playing Monster Hunter since the first game, and I'm not trying to sound like a hipster. Like, it came out when I was young, and it was different and weird, and it was like exciting to me. And playing that as a kid, it was just like, incredible. Moral of the story, the grinding of that game, though. Everything you do is progress towards something.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what you do. It does not matter what you do, because all of it is progress towards something.
Yes.
And I feel like that's how you do grinding, where every aspect of what you're doing contributes to doing something grander. Every little piece that you're picking up, you can use that to build weapons. And even if it's not something that you're using immediately, oh shit, well, you know what, I think I want to try a different weapon style. Or I want to build a different armor set. Bam, all those previous hunts that you were doing, grinding up all the pieces that you needed for like that one high rank thing, you now have all the pieces you need to try out a completely new weapon, completely new armor, like...
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's just so many possibilities, and the fact that there are so many options, and because you're constantly making progress... The only complaint that I have outside of that was originally... Are we going to try this?
Let's try it.
Was originally the... Oh, Jesus. Was originally the gems for Monster Hunter World. That was kind of frustrating, but Capcom acknowledged it, and they started working on it. And they're just like, alright, this sucks, let's fix it. And they fucking fixed it!
Oh, shoot. Yeah. That's one thing I love about the other game I know we were going to talk about, and that's Warframe. Is that I love games that whenever it's like no matter what you're doing, you're making progress. In some way or another, you are making progress. And that's what I feel like is the problem with games like Red Dead, or even games like Smite, where you only have like one or two resources that you can spend on things. So whenever it's like, well, I can only get this one or other thing, and there's only one way to do that, so... But, like, whenever it comes to, like, Warframe and Monster Hunter, and even this game, it's like, well, you could be going against a giant scorpion and get these things because you need these things, or you could be going against something else, or you could be just mining rocks, and you're getting progress in every sense. And that's what I like about, that's what I think good grinding games are, is that there needs to be a lot of resources to gather for you to get things. Wow, that's the first time we ever beat that thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have never beaten it before, ever.
And we
Do we
did
need
here
Titan for
for
anything?
everybody watching.
We might.
The skeleton key's in this bag right here.
Okay. We should probably head back to base, because 2 of our followers are looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, Dan.
What?
The sword's for you,
Ooh,
buddy.
is that a sword?
Or, you could give it to Brungar.
What kind is it?
It is... Here it is. I think it's a single-handed blade.
Ooh. I mean, if it's better than what I have, I'll give Brungard the one I'm like the weaker one up to 2.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a legendary. Oh shit.
My
Yeah.
ankle hurts so bad.
That is what I think good games, like, if you want to know the difference between a good game that grinds and a bad grinding game, the plethora of resources that you can possibly have, I think that really puts you in a good position for good grinding. Like,
Yeah.
Monster Hunter feels so good grinding, because it's like, no matter what we fight, no matter what we do, whatever activity, whatever we're going to do out in the world, it's going to help me towards something, no matter what.
You know, I want to throw something in there to add to that.
Go ahead.
I think another good thing about like positive grinding is the sense that your character is actually growing stronger. You know, like it's learning, it's developing, it's getting new it's getting new weapons, you know, new abilities. And the reason why I mentioned that is because the 2 series that I think are good in that spec, I think you both would agree with.
Go ahead.
Okay.
The Borderlands series and the Pokemon series.
Yeah.
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 And when I talk about Pokemon, I'm not talking about like any of the miscellaneous games like Stadium or Coliseum or Snap. We're talking about the main series, you know, Red,
The core
Blue,
RPG.
Gold, Silver. Yeah, the ones that you actually start off as a trainer and
Yeah,
then you
the core
work your way
series.
up to be a Pokemon master, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on the player. You know, like how much grinding you want to do. Do you want to make it enough that your character, your Pokemon, are just enough that you could do the gym leader, and that, you know, it's just barely there, but you can still strategize with how you want to do it, with like who goes first, who goes second, what moves to teach, or do you want to grind that they're like ridiculously strong that they could go to a gym battle and just beat Pokemon in just 1 or 2 hits, bam. And that's the beauty
I
of
will
Pokemon.
vote. I think everyone here would agree that nothing's more satisfying than listening to a gym leader talk up their shit and go, I'm the most powerful fairy-type Pokemon user ever, and then just beating their ass so mercilessly, like you're one-shotting their entire team. They let out the last Pokemon. It's like, I'm going to show you my signature move, and it hits you and does nothing.
It's even more satisfying in the newer generations whenever, like, you get down to, like, their last Pokemon, and they're like, huh, I guess you're doing okay. It's like, you guess I'm doing... I just one-shotted everything up to this point. And then they're like, but you'll never be able to...
I have a full party, bitch. What the hell are you talking about?
But they're like, but you'll never be able to stand up to my signature Pokemon and its epic move. And they throw out some whack Pokemon, and you just one-shot that one, too, before it even gets its move off. And you're just like,
yeah.
Is that it? Are you done?
But they always smack talk. They always have to smack talk.
Yeah.
But that's why I love Pokemon, is that you feel like you're actually growing with your Pokemon. You know, you're learning new moves. You're actually feel like they're your buddies. You know.
Well, immediate results is amazing.
Yeah.
Like that is immediate gratification, and that's what a lot of a lot of games, a lot of the good grinding games do really well. Like,
Yes.
whenever you either level up or you get a certain item that you needed, it completely changes the game for you. You know, like,
Right.
I remember like playing like Diablo, and it almost felt like
Oh.
every time you leveled up, the game has changed. Like,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
it just felt that
I
way
remember
every time.
actually saying those exact words when we played Diablo together.
Yeah,
Like,
and
every
that was
single time I level up, I was like, oh shit, it's over
Yeah.
now.
That's
got
what I
the
mean.
new move.
Shit's about
It's
to get
like
real now, buddy.
like I just hit level 3. Oh, I'm all powerful now, and I'll hit level 49 and say the exact same thing. It's like, dude, you said that
Well,
when you were
that's
like
what
level 3. You
That's
had 3
exactly what I.
abilities.
Yeah, that's what I say whenever I play Borderlands. You know, like I feel
Yeah.
like, oh man, I'm level 4, I'm level 5. Oh man, I get my special ability, and then like every single level, you get another ability you can just invest in, and then you get closer and closer to getting like even more powerful weapons. You can just fucking wreck people with one hit, and then
Yeah,
you finally get be able to have a weapon that you can just shoot somebody in the head and just go explode,
And
just
that's
make
why-
meat chunks out of them.
yeah, and that's why I think this game is also a great grinding game for
Oh.
actually a lot of different reasons. But this
It
game
makes you
is
feel like you're actually surviving in this game.
Yeah.
You're progressing into new places, like as a survivor warrior would.
yeah, you feel hardened. Like,
Yeah.
I remember whenever Scarlet and I first picked up this game, and we were like scared to like venture too far from base. We're just like, can we survive walking down the river? Are we gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Like, we were
But
terrified.
The thing about that is it was also a fight because we didn't know what the things were. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't know how to deal with them if we dealt with them. But now, like, because I also enjoy games that are grindy mentally, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
games where if you take the time to learn it,
Mm-hmm.
it makes a difference in how it's played.
Well, that's Dark Souls and Bloodborne for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like, those are those games that, you know, it's trial and error. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in with a greatsword, and you get your world rocked, and you're like, what did I do wrong? And you try a different moveset or a different approach, or maybe you're more offensive this time, maybe you're more defensive this time, and then eventually you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna try sword and shield, and the whole game has changed for you. And now you just found out that, wow, I actually jive with this really well because you grinded, because you went through problems. You went through problems over and over and over, and you grinded, like mentally grinding, like you're just like, oh, what am I doing wrong? What am I fucking up? And that's why I like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, is because they teach you. Like, I remember in Bloodborne, it took me a while to get into Bloodborne because it was really hard. Or at least for me, coming from Dark Souls, going into Bloodborne was so hard because
It's a transition.
it's a big transition. For me, it's a big transition because I play the long game in Dark Souls. I'm patient, I'm calculating, but then Bloodborne is like, if you get hit, you should hit back. Like, what? It's like, yeah, if you get hit, open up, just go crazy. It's like, what? Like, that is so the opposite in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And like, it took me a while to get past Blood-Starved Beast. That was like where that's where I struggled the most in Bloodborne. Once I got to the Blood-Starved Beast, because I was just like, I feel like everything I'm doing is just wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And eventually it just was like one night I just sat down and just fucking grinded that fight. I did it over and over and over, and I started learning the movesets, learning what the tells were for the grab, and like knew what the radius was for the poison mist around it. Like, you grinded mentally because you learned the way the mechanics work, the way the game is going to act. You didn't like, if real life was a video game, you leveled up. Like, not your character, you did. You got the experience. You leveled up. You gained comprehension of
Yeah.
X
You know
thing.
I think like that can apply to. I know we got to wrap this up pretty quickly.
Okay.
But if you can learn something out of a game for the better, regardless if it's a good grind or a bad grind, that's what video games are designed to do. Make you get smarter, strategize better, and hopefully you learn better.
And make you feel like
what
you
to do, what not to do.
make you feel like the time you're investing is worth it. You know?
Exactly.
Like that's the whole thing about the grind. That's the bad part of the grind. Is like it's time consuming. But
Yeah.
if your time is not wasted, like if you're not getting set back for spending time with the game, like nothing is more frustrating than not having enough time to play a game, and that whole time that you're playing, you're making no progress. That
Exactly.
is the most irritating thing you could ever
Yeah.
encounter.
And I know that we've. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and whenever it gets to the point where like a certain game where you put 3 hours into it, and though you may have only like leveled up twice or only gotten like to build one thing, but that one thing has now made a difference. It's like now this I'm getting it. I'm picking it up. You know, the game is gonna start progressing now.
Well, before we wrap things up, I think it's very important to say that everything if you made it this far, thank you for one thing, and two, these are just 3 opinions from 3 crazy individuals. So we're just speaking to what we think about these games. So if you have an opinion about any of these games, if you agree with us, great. If you disagree with us, fantastic. Please let us know. And if there's any games that you think are too grindy, or like too grindy for good, too grindy for bad, then comment down below. And if you have anything else you want us to talk about, let us know. That's why we're here.
Hell yeah. Scarlet, anything you gotta say?
I'm not gonna go on my vaccinate your fucking kids rant again. But I will say that I don't know, like life's grindy as shit too, and we all put in a lot of fucking effort with very little payout, and I think that we need to have this grind rebalanced. Cause
Yeah. The biggest fucking patch that needs to happen is the one in real life. Like, please fucking balance the shit. Please.
Like, I can't pay to win this one, alright? I need... Please help.
I have been nerfed into the fucking ground.
I got nerfed so hard. I'm unplayable.
Yeah.
I didn't get nerfed, but I did get narfed.
Narfed.
Oh my god, get out. Alright guys, have fun, be safe, don't get caught, and we will see you in the next episode.
Until then, bye.
See you later, guys. See you next time.
Fuck off.